Hello students, first year students, we are we are going to discuss about viruses. You might be knowing the meaning of viruses because you might have learned during your school level, you might have learned about the definition, what are viruses. But for PUC first year, you are going to learn more about their characteristic features, definitions, types of viruses, historical background about the viruses. So let me define what is virus or what is virus. So I wrote viruses, means it is a singular word, it's not plural word, it's not a singular word. So viruses literally mean, actually there is a long historical background. We are going to discuss all that. Before going to discuss the virus, here one definition I wrote. We will go through the definition. Okay. So what is virus then? So viruses are non-cellular or ultramicroscopic. Non-cellular is also called as acellular because they don't have their own particular cell. They do not have cell. Hence they are non-cellular. Ultramicroscopic means they are very minute. We need a microscope for their observation. Ultramicroscopic means we need a microscope for the observation of their structure. So hence they are called as ultramicroscopic infectious entities. See here the term infectious means which cause infection, that is called infectious, highly poisonous, causing infection. Entities means a body, entity refers to body. Apart from that, they have nucleic acids. You might be knowing what are nucleic acids. Every cell has a nucleus. Within that nucleus, nucleic acids are present, that is DNA as well as RNA. So nucleic acids are surrounded by a protein coat. So what is protein coat? Let me explain all about the protein coat. So in the 5 kingdom classification we have learned, that is given by R.H. Whittaker. In the R.H. Whittaker classification, in that classification he did not explain about the viruses, viroids, or lichens. So there is no place for the viruses. So we are going to discuss viruses separately. Separately we have to deal with them. So the detailed characteristic features also we are discussing. So before going to discuss, we are learning about their definition also and historical background. So the term virus was given by Louis Pasteur. So here virus refers to what? Virus means venom. In other words, venom is also called as poisonous fluid. Venom means poisonous fluid. So which produce poisonous fluid, that is called venom or virus. So this term was first time given by Pasteur. And there is one more scientist by name D.J. Ivanovsky in the year 1892. He recognized the causal organism, that is the mosaic disease, tobacco mosaic disease was observed by him, and in the plant tobacco. So the tobacco plant is infected by a disease called mosaic disease, and that is not because of any other organism, that is because of the virus. So plant virus, that virus is causing the disease called as tobacco disease, and this observation was given by Ivanovsky in the year 1892. Later on, there is one more scientist by name M.W. Wejernik in the year 1898. Okay, in the year 1898, the person by name Wejernik. So what is his contribution? Let me tell you. So his contribution was, that is he gave the term called contagium vivum fluidum. It means what? Let me split the word. First time Wejernik, what he did, he demonstrated that the extract of the infected plant. So he extracted the extract of the plant, infected plants of tobacco, and he sprayed on the healthy plants. Immediately all the healthy plants were infected with the tobacco disease, and because of that causing of the disease, he called that fluid or the extract, he called it as a contagium vivum fluidum. Contagium means highly infectious. Vivum fluidum means infectious living fluid is the meaning of a contagium vivum fluidum. So this term was given by Bejernik because he was the person to demonstrate that after spraying extract of the unhealthy plant, he sprayed the extract on the healthy plant, and all the healthy plants were infected with the viruses mosaic disease, and hence for this sake he called it as a contagium vivum fluidum. And there is one more scientist by name, lastly, W.M. Stanley. What is his contribution? He showed that viruses can be crystallized. And what does it mean, crystallize? Crystallize means they can be crystallized, they can be preserved, means the crystals are made up of proteins, and these proteins molecules are highly inert. So whenever they come in contact with any living host, they become inactive, they become very inactive, inert. So because of the property that is crystalline property. So he was the person to show that viruses can be crystallized, means they can be preserved also, they become highly inert when they come in contact with any body. And in addition to that, viruses are mainly made up of either DNA or RNA. They never contain both DNA as well as RNA. They contain either DNA or RNA. And one more information, let me give you classification of the viruses. Viruses are broadly classified into 3 categories. For your syllabus, we have only 2 categories. Third category you are not going to discuss. That is zoophaginae, phytophaginae, as well as bacteriophages. Zoophaginae means the virus which attack the bacteria is called zoophaginae, means animal. So when the animal is attacked by any virus, that is called as zoophaginae, and if the plant is attacked by any virus, then it is called as phytophaginae, and if the bacteria is affected by virus, that is called as bacteriophage. You can see the diagram of bacteriophage as well as tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic, TMV, it's a plant virus. So here question comes, how the virus make an attack, how it causes a disease, how it enters into the host body. It's very important. So first of all, what happens? The viruses, as I told you, they are acellular, non-cellular, they do not have any, they are very inert outside the body of the living host. But when they enter into the host body, they start multiplying. But outside the body, they become inert, inactive. So after infecting a living cell, so when they make their entry through the living cell, what they do? They make use of protein synthesis machinery of the host. Since the host has inside the cell, inside the host body, the protein machinery is there, and virus do not have its own machinery, protein machinery. Instead of that, it snatches all the protein machinery from the living host and it starts preparing its own protein, poisonous protein, and later on it multiplies within the host body. And thus the virus contains DNA or RNA as a genetic material with protein coat. So one thing is clear now. So it has nucleic acid along with protein. Virus has nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, along with protein. So hence the viruses are called nucleoproteins. Next comes, usually the virus which infect the plant, that is usually made up of single stranded RNA. Single stranded means it does not have double stranded, means only single polynucleotide chain. Whereas the virus which attack the animal cell, it has a double stranded RNA or double stranded DNA. So usually the plant viruses are made up of RNA, ribonucleic acid, and the animal viruses they may contain either RNA or DNA as a genetic material. And the bacteriophage, as you can see the diagram, the bacteriophage has DNA as a genetic material, and tobacco mosaic virus has RNA as a genetic material. And if you focus your attention on the tobacco mosaic virus, structurally it is composed of a single stranded RNA. Okay, the red color dotted line indicates RNA. It is attached with a number of protein subunits called capsomeres, and the whole cover is called capsid. Capsid is nothing but it's a protein coat. It's a protein coat. Okay. So with the help of nucleic acid, RNA and protein coat, it attacks the plant. Thus the plant is a host material, which is tobacco plant is a host which is affected by tobacco mosaic virus. And here there is one more diagram, bacteriophage. If you focus your attention on bacteriophage structure, its body is divided into head, neck, tail. So head is composed of DNA, double-stranded DNA, and there is a neck provided with a collar, and that is sheath, contractile sheath, like a spring. Its sheath is like a spring, and it can be contract, it can relax for the entry, for releasing the DNA into the host body. In addition to that, at the base it has a base plate. It is provided with a number of tail fibers. So thus, with the help of tail fibers, it attacks the host and releases the DNA into the host body. So these are the two examples of a plant virus and the bacterial virus. So bacterial virus is called bacteriophage and plant virus is tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, and with reference to their significances, they cause diseases. Most of the viruses causes diseases, like in animals it causes AIDS, mumps, herpes, smallpox, influenza. All these diseases are caused in the human body. But in the plant it causes disease like mosaic disease. Mosaic means tobacco mosaic disease. Yellow patches, white patches it is going to cause. Leaf rolling, leaf curling. So when it is attacked, the leaf will become curling. Then yellowing of the leaf takes place. And sometimes it also leads to the dwarfism, and it causes stunted growth. The growth is not healthy one, growth is very stunted one. So these are the some of the diseases in plants as well as in animals. So this is all about the viruses. We will stop.